In Turkey, President Erdogan has vowed to quickly rebuild the thousands of homes destroyed in the earthquakes.
Several figures from the construction industry connected with collapsed buildings have been arrested and are facing investigation over alleged wrongdoing. Well, let's talk now to Tolga Özden, who's an associate professor at Turkey's Çanakkale Onsekiz Mart University. Welcome to the programme. So why do you think there's been such a huge loss of life from these earthquakes?
The simple answer is, unfortunately, the buildings cannot stand to the earthquake because they were not resistant, earthquake-resistant buildings, and most of them were constructed on swamp areas, lake basins, river basins. So they were very heavy concrete apartment blocks, and people were sleeping in their beds because the first earthquake hit very early in the morning, and so nobody could not have the chance to escape and evacuate the buildings, and the collapsed buildings unfortunately result in a huge number of casualties.
So you say they weren't earthquake-resistant buildings. There was a big earthquake in Turkey back in 1999, wasn't there? And that led to a code of construction for new buildings. So why weren't those lessons learned from that disaster?
Yes, surprisingly, we saw that in this earthquake, those laws and regulations did not work. In fact, our laws and regulations are enough, but the inspection period and the construction processes in the application process is not worked well, and there is a big corruption and degeneration in this construction period. So although the laws and regulations are enough, we saw that the buildings constructed insufficiently, and that's why we have to reorganize our construction system, but not maybe the laws and regulations.
So you mentioned corruption there. Some people in the construction industry have been arrested in connection with collapsed buildings. Do you think corruption played a part in how badly this earthquake affected the region?
Yes, exactly, because the dominant in the Turkish construction system, the dominant characters are the construction firms, unfortunately. And they have very powerful on politicians also. So they can do everything they want. So they have also press and effect on inspection companies. So this corruption results uninspected lots of buildings and lots of heavy concrete buildings. And as a result, we saw that those buildings couldn't stand to such huge, big magnitude of earthquake.
So when it comes to building back now, what would you like to see being done differently? Is it a different way of building? Is it ending the corruption? Is it enforcing the current rules, or new ones, or something else?
Sure. We have to change our concrete apartment block construction type. We need new hybrid models, more light and earthquake-resistant building models, such as prefabricated systems, modular systems, steel systems. And if we have the chance to use this period, the new rehabilitation and reconstruction period, in terms of finding new construction models, I'm sure we will be successful in the future earthquakes and in future disasters.
Tolga Özden from Çanakkale Onsekiz Mart University. Good to talk to you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.